Happy New Year's, Panthers! I am Denajhae Clyde, and welcome back to another semester with Panther Report News. Panthers, the transition of the last semester was pretty tough, and many unfortunate things happened to some of us, so I hope it did not break you down too much. Things are starting to lighten up a little this semester, so let's try to continue to have a strong and successful spring semester. But first, let's take a quick look.
So in Chinese culture, rats are signs of wealth and surplus. So this new year is all about the gains.
We are now learning that Georgia State University will soon be the first college student-led polling location in American history.
The e-scooter declared its farewell from Atlanta.
With the passing of Congressman John Lewis.
Malik Ben-Levy became just the 5th Georgia State graduate to transition into the NBA.
Doing podcasting, and because I love just the intimacy that podcasting gives you.
The Georgia State University Police Department arrested Donnie Takira, a student at the university, after multiple reports of unlawful surveillance inside campus restrooms.
Actor Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 following a private 4-year battle with colon cancer.
About the passing of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others that all lost their lives.
And as you can see behind me, the United Campus Workers of Georgia are here fighting for fair wages, fair raises, and for fair funding.
Brantley faces an additional charge of aggravated sodomy for the sexual assault.
Actually just broke up with my girlfriend.
Ms. Myra Payne Elliott is one of the 3 ladies responsible for suing to desegregate Georgia State in the 1950s.
That longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek has died after waging a brave and very public battle with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Officials say that the coronavirus can be spread among people within 6 feet. And that's
K-Camp shouted her out on Twitter, letting everyone know who created the viral choreography.
My name is Nigel Walton.
My name is Keelin Thomas.
My name is Hollis Porter.
My name is Nahum Taye.
Top, I'm so glad you all are going to get an education.
As part of the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials that'll be going on here in Atlanta. It's an incredible group of, I think there's 771 runners.
Leg, man! Little leg!
The professor here canceled class, saying they haven't gotten the clear protocol for dealing with the disease.
The Georgia State University Police Department is undergoing a numerous amount of changes for the 2020-2021 school year to adjust to the arrival of COVID-19.
This fall semester, students were given the option at Georgia State to register for online classes and/or have blended classes.
Louisville police shot and killed Breonna Taylor in...
According to the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, the coronavirus is killing Hispanics, blacks, and American Indians at a much higher number than whites.
Tonight on the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery,
President Trump tested positive for the coronavirus.
Colasurdo says from here on out, he is allowed and eligible to play.
It is now ranked 3rd most innovative university in the nation and 3rd for its commitment to undergraduate teaching.
Falcons continue to struggle this season. They currently sit at 0-5.
Some students say that their experiences when attending a perimeter college is different than those taking classes in the city.
Now, actor Tommy Lister has died at the age of 62.
Georgia State is offering free COVID-19 testing on all campuses.
The Atlanta Falcons fired both head coach Dan Quinn and general manager Thomas Demetriou. New Orleans Saints kicker Will Lutz was the first Georgia State alumni to make it to the Pro Bowl.
The times to be that fast, especially because I was running mostly by myself. So.
This past weekend, individuals came out in front of the Georgia Capitol building to express their feelings towards the presidential election.
Since the University System of Georgia is not making masks required at games, some students feel unsafe.
Recently, we just witnessed history being made as seeing President Joseph R. Biden become sworn to be the active 46th President of the United States and our first Black and Asian American women to be sworn in during the inauguration on January 20th. A week before, protesters rioted the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. in response to former President Donald J. Trump of telling his supporters to fight after his loss of the presidential election. Fast forwarding to the inauguration, state's Capitol building began to prepare for more riots to occur around the nation. Our state Capitol building being so close to downtown Atlanta campus, I spoke with the Georgia State Police Department about how to keep the students safe. Remembering how these streets was once filled with protesters and rioters a couple of months back. But fast forwarding to the presidential inauguration, there are allegations stating that there will be another protest here at the Capitol. In preparation of the presidential inauguration, the Georgia officials increased security. Also, they mentioned that the several roads will be blocked around City Hall during this time.
There's intelligence going around that there are groups that are planning on storming the Capitol, but there's no set date, set time, or location or anything. It's just groups of ideas.
There are many students expressing their concerns about their safety during this presidential ceremony. Georgia State student Mir Bachi believes that the Georgia State Police is reliable during this unrested time.
With GSUPD, with not just during the riots, during the Capitol Hill storming, or the Black Lives Matter protests that happened earlier in the summer of 2020, and before COVID, anytime something would go down, I've always had like really nice experiences with the GSUPD.
Our goal is to have police visible, ready to respond to any type of incidents that could happen in or around campus, and also to have our security officers inside of the buildings. Typically they're inside of certain buildings, but on these certain days we'll have security officers inside of all of the public buildings, just so they can be additional eyes and ears, just in case someone penetrates the building that we may have missed or somebody we didn't see. So they'll let us know that there's a possible intruder.
Officer Coleman mentions GSU PD main purpose is here for the student safety. And if you see any suspicious activities on campus, you should contact them on the LiveSafe app or call the Police Communication Center at 404-413-3333. Denajhae, Clyde, Panther Report News. Now we turn to Koa Ben-Yisrael for the latest updates on sports. Koa.
Thanks, Denajhae. What's up, y'all? It's the one and only Koa Ben-Yisrael, and welcome back to PRN Sports. Congratulations to the Georgia State football team for an amazing season. With the team handling business against Western Kentucky in the LENDINGTREE Bowl, this has given us 2 bowl victories to our program. And not only did finishing the season at 6-4 give us the best winning percentage in program history, but it also gave the Panthers back-to-back winning seasons for the very first time ever in its history. The team also averaged 33.3 points per game, which is also the highest in program history as well. I guess you could say this season was a very historical one. We want to give a very big welcome to Ja'Kias Credo for joining our Panther family. Credo is a former All-State wide receiver from Columbus, Georgia, and has joined the Georgia State football team after just 1 season at UCF. Credo is an honorable mention for the All-State selection by Recruit Georgia back in 2019, preseason All-State pick, a 2-time All-Region choice, and also a 2-time honoree on the All-By-City team from the Columbus Ledger. Welcome to the Panther family. Now, who doesn't love spring? Who doesn't love the flowers blooming, the clear blue skies, and all those warm spring vibes? Well, the spring season for Georgia State sports are coming right around the corner. Here's Antwane Willis with a preview for the upcoming spring season for the men's tennis team.
The Georgia State tennis team is getting ready to start the spring season for the 2021 school year. This will be the first time they will play games since March of the last spring semester, and they're very excited to return. The coaching staff are also very excited to see the players display the result of their hard work and discipline, which will result in outstanding performances.
We're just ready to go out there and compete. You know, we've ever since our season got cut short last year, our guys have, been practicing hard, and, quite frankly, they're getting tired of playing one another, in practices and practice matches. So we're excited to get back out there, win or lose. I mean, preferably win, of course, but just play different teams and schools and get back those competitive vibes and juices flowing. So
this will be their first time competing since the global shutdown last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They're very excited to return to competition and compete with hopes of making the Sun Belt Championships and the hopes of bringing home that championship ring.
I have a couple little goals, but I mean the biggest thing is get a ring. So win our conference championship and get a berth to NCAAs. I mean we joke around with the guys, if we get a ring, we'll all get Panther tattoos. I don't think we're joking. So that's the goal every year. So we're all excited for that, working hard for that every day, and hopefully, we'll see it come to fruition.
The players are anxious to showcase their skills as this has been a long layoff for them, and they're ready to show that they've sustained their focus even in these unprecedented times. And Georgia State tennis fans have a lot to look forward to this spring with these upcoming matchups. Antwane, Willis, PRN.
The men's basketball team had a brief hold on their season due to multiple COVID-19 cases, but are now back and ready to play. This past weekend, it was Appalachian State, but their next showing will be home against South Alabama Friday, January 29th. The women's basketball team also had to pause their season for multiple COVID-19 cases, but are now in full swing for their upcoming season, and I had the chance to talk to Ashley Foster. Now, we all know that due to COVID-19, the women's basketball season was temporarily put on a pause and has postponed some games. Junior guard Ashley Foster was able to explain to me the team's reaction when they first heard this news.
When we first was put on pause, I think everybody was more concerned that the people who were affected by Corona was, let's see how I put this, just return healthy and didn't have too many symptoms and just was making sure they're eating right, making sure temperatures was good, making sure that they were just, staying safe and healthy.
With the team and coaching staff trying to prevent any further exposures, there have been some new changes put in place for everyone to follow.
We have 2 groups for weights so that we don't be too close to each other now. We have separate weight times. We have certain times, if we have individual days, it would just be a coach and a player just in the gym, separate goals, with the mask on, of course.
With the season being resumed from its postponement, Ashley says the team uses last year as motivation for this year.
Our focus was last year. We didn't do so well at all. So Coastal was one of the teams. Well, we're heading for all the teams. So Coastal was our first one that we actually was able to play. And we just had something to prove to them this year.
She also adds that with this season possibly ending at any given moment, that they will give their all no matter what.
That focus that we didn't have last year, we brought it back to this year. And the fact that we could play our last game at any moment, those 2 focuses kind of gave us our energy to do what we had to do.
Now, it seems like because of this postponement that this team is hungrier and more determined to create havoc in the Sun Belt Conference. So make sure you guys do tune in because they need all your support. They need all of our support. It's been the one and only Ben-Yisrael, PRN. Now, I need that reporter snap because he is very good looking and he always does very good work here on PRN. But anyways, enough of that, let's get into sports. The men's baseball team has been achieving academic honors with 28 players going strong in the classroom this past fall semester with a 3.2 or higher GPA. But we'd like to give a special shout out to Duncan Lutz and Chad Treadway for making the president's list with a 4.0 GPA. Keep up the good work, guys. The Georgia State softball team have some new faces for the upcoming season. Head coach Roger Kincaid announced his 8 new signees to the team. Let's give a very big Panther welcome to Hallie Adams, Abby Brown, Mallory Fletcher, JC Goodwin, Emily Hodnett, Chloe Middlebrooks, Alice Thomas, and yes, you, Emma Yanes. I did not forget about you. Well, guys, that's all we have for you on this edition of PRN Sports. Remember to subscribe down below and let us know what you think of the show in the comment section down below. I'm Ben-Yisrael. Denajhae, back to you.
Koa. This past Monday, an armed robbery occurred at Aspen Heights apartment roughly around 8 p.m. According to the GSU PD's police report, the victim of the incident is to be named Zavion Muhammad, with 2 suspects, 2 unidentified as black males wearing masks and hooded sweatshirts. Leading up to the incident, one of the suspects requested to use Muhammad's phone to follow them on Instagram, informing him that his phone was dead. After denying the request, Muhammad heard a gun cock, causing Muhammad to run into the bedroom and arm himself with an AR-15 pistol, refusing to exit his room. Muhammad stated that he heard one of the suspects shouting to him to not come out the room or they would shoot him. After the exit, Muhammad noticed they took a small amount of cash laying on his kitchen table. During Christmas break, the Student Government Association EVP of the Newton campus, Carlos Porter, was arrested for charge of child exploitation and child pornography. Reporter Keelin Berrian has more.
Social media is used daily for as many connections and interactions in today's society, but not all interactions are deemed to be good. But in this instance, a former Georgia State student of the Newton Perimeter campus have used an interaction on social media that may have changed his life forever. Carlos Porter, age 21, was arrested by the Georgia Bureau of Investigations on December 8th with felony charges of sexual exploitation of children and possession of child pornography. A cyber tip was given from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to the GBI regarding a suspected upload of child pornography on a popular social media app. Then, officials searched Porter's electronic devices and found evidence that was determined enough for an arrest. Students at Georgia State heard of the news once the GBI made an announcement of the recent events and caused some of them to feel unsettled.
It really did make me feel uncomfortable because, that shouldn't be happening. It's our leader. That's something we shouldn't be having, what's going on our campus. That's something that we looking up to protect us and look out for us and make sure we're in the right direction, but it's not going that correctly way.
Porter is also the executive vice president of Georgia State's Newton County campus with the Student Government Association, and president of the downtown Atlanta's campus, KAELEN Thomas, made a statement towards the student body saying, "This news has upset me deeply," and continued, "All student government officers underwent a human trafficking and Title IX workshop before we returned in the fall. It's clear to me that our organization must undergo radical change."
Everybody was just so upset with what happened and what the news was. So when we talk about radical change, we're really talking about different ways that SGA can be more effective, ways that SGA can mold itself to be better in the future.
Porter now resides within the Newton County Jail without bond and resigned from his position as executive vice president and withdrew as a student from Georgia State University. Keelin Berrian, PRN.
A former Panther will now call his new office the White House. Adam Schultz, a Georgia State graduate, is the chief official White House photographer for the Biden administration. Schultz photographed Biden during his presidential campaign and previously photographed Hillary's bid. We hope for the best during your latest achievement from one Panther to another. Well, that's all the show we have. Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of Panther Report News. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at GSUPRN and subscribe down below to let us know what you think about this week's show. Again, I am Denajhae Clyde, and we'll see you next week.